A while ago, I talked about how much I wanted to like Gabrielle Dropout, but bounced off of it pretty hard once I realized the only thing it had going for it was good animation. It's no surprise that I had pretty much the same reaction to Himouto Umaru-Chan, since it and Gabrielle Dropout share a lot of the same key staff, including the same director, writer, and animation director who worked on character designs. Only, for some reason, my negative reaction to Himouto Umaru-chan was stronger right away, whereas Gabrielle Dropout took a while to disillusion me. Once again, these creators have delivered a gorgeous show with some good character designs. The animation is of a certain quality that always puts a smile on my face, and I want to give it credit for that, because it's a genuinely good piece of visual work they've done here. It's the quality of the animation that makes me want to like a show made by these people, and contributes a lot to my disappointment when I don't. See, I tried watching Umaru a long time ago, and didn't make it past the first episode. There was something about it that I really didn't like, but couldn't put into words at the time. I was content to just leave the show behind and get on with my life. But a friend kept urging me to give it another shot, so I figured, why not? My friend likes it, a lot of people seem to really like it a lot. Maybe there's something I'm missing. So this time I watched the entire season, start to finish, and I still didn't get it. I didn't get the love people have for this show. I didn't get the appeal. And I still couldn't quite articulate what it was about the show that was bothering me so much. So I decided to turn to the fandom. I watched a bunch of reviews, I even talked to people who like the show, because I wanted to understand why everyone else seemed to like this thing, and maybe more importantly, why I didn't. And the answer to both of those questions is one word: relatability. Every single person I have ever heard talk about this show inevitably says that one of the key factors in their enjoyment is how they can relate to Umaru. How she's kind of an avatar for anyone who's ever felt they need to hide their nerdy side, or whose dream vacation is laying around the house in comfy pants, eating whatever you want, and playing video games. And I found that it's female fans who respond to this character the strongest, which makes sense. This is a female protagonist who's at her best when she's not trying to impress anyone and just unapologetically indulges in the things that make her happy. There's a surprising amount of wish fulfillment going on here, which is something we don't often see applied to female leads. In public, Umaru is absurdly perfect. Top of her class, great at sports, musical prodigy. Everyone wants to either date her or be her best friend. And her home life is doing whatever she wants with very little resistance. On top of it, the things she geeks out over are copyright-friendly versions of the same games and manga that the real nerds watching the show at home probably also enjoy consuming. So you've got a wish fulfillment character with the social life you probably dreamt of having in school, and the home life you'd love to have right now, who likes all the same things you do. It's easy to see why people would latch on to this character, especially female viewers, as Umaru is a concentrated, unapologetic expression of how awesome it is to be a fangirl without any of the bullshit that goes along with being a girl in these communities. So I think I now get why other people like this show, but I also get why I personally don't like it, and it comes back to that magic word: relatability. Everyone who watches the show is supposed to relate to Umaru. It's something I didn't become consciously aware of until interacting with the fans, but it's something I did feel for myself while watching episode 2, when Umaru's obsession briefly turns to the new Final Fantasy game. I've lost countless days to Final Fantasy XIV, and I did feel that little spark you get when a character on a show you're watching likes the same thing you like. That small validation that you're right to feel the way you do about the thing you're into. But the more I watched, the more I realized that relating to Umaru made me feel kinda bad. Umaru is the worst person in this show. That's not me making a judgment call. It's just the way she behaves all the time, and the characters call it out directly. She's greedy, she's lazy, she's intensely selfish, she lies to absolutely everyone all of the time, she's emotionally manipulative, she does mean-spirited things to her loved ones to get her way, and she throws tantrums when she's told no. I started to relate to this character, and I felt bad, because I don't want to relate to this character. I don't want liking the things I like to group me in with someone like her. And it bothers me that a character who's supposed to be the embodiment of all the things we geeks want is also the embodiment of the kind of person that I desperately hope I never turn into. Because I'd like to think that despite all my flaws, I'm still a good person. And I can't really say that for Umaru. When she sees the very real problems that her behavior causes her brother, she doubles down on it. When she becomes aware of how her constant lying is hurting her friend, she chooses to keep the lie going anyway because keeping her two lives separate is something she values more than she does other people. Which is something that I cannot even begin to explain because they never give us a reason why she'd want to keep her real self a secret. It seems kinda shitty that this character that's supposed to be a celebration of unbridled geekiness will also move heaven and earth just to make sure nobody ever finds out she loves the things that she loves. The worst part is the fact that this show is populated by almost nothing but other characters who would make better protagonists than Umaru. Her brother's the responsible straight man in a world of weirdos, just trying to lead a respectable, normal life as he gets mixed up in everyone else's drama and hijinks. Her downstairs neighbor moved to the big city from the sticks and is constantly terrified of being looked down on as some unrefined country bumpkin that nobody wants around. It can be a story about accepting yourself so you can be accepted by others, and this girl is so shy and socially awkward she can't talk to anybody who isn't a small child and has to deal with everyone thinking she's a scary weirdo because of how silent and standoffish she is as she slowly tries to work on her self-confidence. There's even a would-be rival character who desperately wants to be the very best like no one ever was, only nobody gives even half a shit about anything she does, so her goofiness and use of props end up being funnier, if only because she does this stuff every single day so nobody in the series even reacts to her anymore. I would watch a slice-of-life comedy about any of these characters, but instead we've got the gremlin fangirl who's a shitty person and a pathological liar. A character who'd be much better suited as a member of the supporting cast. Again, I don't want to come off as shitting on a thing everyone loves, because I understand why it's loved. I understand why the concept of Umaru is important to people, even if I don't agree with the execution of that concept. It's a gorgeous show that stands out to a lot of nerds, and especially nerd girls. Representation is important, and despite her flaws, we've never really had a character like Umaru before, and there's enough right about her to resonate positively with a community of fans who aren't usually catered to. And the Overwatch fan in me can never fully hate the inspiration for Gremlin D.Va. So maybe I'll give Season 2 a shot? It won't be a priority, but at least I know the animation will be worth it. Thank you guys for watching. I hope I didn't enrage any of the fans of this show, and if you'd like to continue the conversation, hit me up in the comments below or on Twitter. And if you think Season 2 might change my mind, let me know. I'll talk to you later.